Hello, nothing good has been happening to me lately and my life is a complete mess. I have family problems, health problems, not mainly mine. I have been in a relationship for almost a year. The guy is very supportive of me and we get along, but the problem is that everything revolves around him or my work or my problems. I have no friends, and that's how it happened. Literally, except for my boyfriend and colleagues who are older than me, I have no one to communicate with, to go out with, and I'm sad. I wish sometimes I had someone to go out for coffee with and share how my husband made me angry. My work is also mostly with older people, and dating people my age is difficult. I'm a 28-year-old girl. I would be happy if you could give me some advice, thank you.
Wow, what you just heard, it's just so honest, isn't it? And so many of us can relate to that feeling of being completely overwhelmed and disconnected. So, in this explainer, we're going to explore exactly why this happens. And more importantly, we're going to lay out a clear, supportive path for how you can start rebuilding those connections. So, let's dive in.
First things first, it's so important to just sit with the power of what was shared there. This isn't just, a bad day. It's a really deep expression of social isolation, and it can feel incredibly heavy, especially when life is already throwing a lot at you. And I want to be really clear, you are not alone in this. So many people feel this way.
And this really just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? When life feels like a complete mess, when you're juggling all that stress, that loneliness, it's not just another problem. It's like pouring gasoline on the fire. It actually makes everything else feel 10 times harder, because it's in those tough moments that we need people the most. And it's just devastating when you look around and feel like no one's there.
Okay, and this is a really crucial point. This feeling, it has nothing to do with how great your partner is. You can have the most amazing, supportive partner in the world and still feel lonely. And why is that? It's because we're wired for all different kinds of connection, right? The bond you have with a friend you can just vent to over coffee is totally different from the one you have with your partner. It's not better or worse, just different, and it's just as necessary.
So here's the paradox, right? If this feeling is so painful, then why is it so incredibly common? It's really important to get this next part. This is not some kind of personal failure. It's not something you did wrong. As we're about to see, this is actually a pretty predictable and widely shared part of life for a lot of us.
So, what is it about our late 20s? Why does this time in life so often feel like a friendship desert? You look up one day and realize that vibrant social circle you used to have has just changed completely. So, let's break down exactly why that happens.
Well, there's actually a name for this whole thing. It's called the shrinking circle. And just giving it a name can be so powerful, can it? It helps you see it for what it is, not a sign that you've done something wrong, but a known, recognized phenomenon that just happens as our lives shift and evolve.
And if you look at the reasons why, what's so interesting is that most of them are totally external. They're not about you. Your friends start new families, and boom, their priorities and their time just totally shift. People move away for work. Your own career starts taking up more and more of your energy. And yeah, when you're having a hard time, it's just natural to kind of withdraw, often without even meaning to. The key takeaway here is that this is a transitional stage.
Okay, so understanding why this happens can be a huge relief. But knowing the why is only half the battle, right? Now we need to talk about action. So let's shift gears and get into a really practical, realistic guide for what you can actually do to start rebuilding those connections. And I want to stress, we're talking small, manageable steps here, no giant, scary leaps. We can break this whole process down into 3 simple steps. Step 1, restore old contacts. Basically, look back. Step 2, find groups based on what you love to do. In other words, look around. And step 3, take small, consistent social steps. That's all about looking forward.
All right, let's tackle step 1. Think for a second. Is there anyone from your past, maybe an old coworker, someone from a class, just someone you remember fondly? I know. Reaching out can feel like this huge, awkward thing. We build it up in our heads. But honestly, a simple, warm message, like the one you see here, can work wonders. It's so low pressure. It's just kind. It just opens a door with no big expectations.
Okay, on to step 2. So many of us make this one mistake. We try to find friends based on age. But that can feel so forced, right? It's like, hi, we're the same age. Let's be friends. A much better way to go is to connect through shared interests. Think about it. A sports team, a book club, a volunteer group, anything. When you do that, you automatically have something to talk about. The pressure is off. The focus is on the fun thing you're doing together, and friendships can just grow naturally from there.
And that leads us right into step 3, which is all about patience. Listen, the goal here is not to find a new best friend forever by next Tuesday. That's just way too much pressure. The real goal is to start small. Just begin with little conversations during that activity we just talked about. Then maybe an invitation for a quick coffee. You have to remember, real friendship is built gradually, you know? It's like building a wall, one brick at a time.
All right, for our last section, let's zoom out a bit and talk about the psychology behind all of this. Because understanding and truly embracing your need for different kinds of relationships, that is a massive act of self-care. It is not selfish to want friends. It's absolutely essential.
Here's the absolute truth, and it's so important to hear this. No single person can be your everything. It's just an impossible expectation to put on a partner, and honestly on yourself too. Think of it like this. A truly healthy, happy life has a whole portfolio of connections. You have your partner, sure, but you also need your confidants, your hobby buddies, the people you just chat with casually. Each one of those relationships meets a different and very important need.
So to help you turn all these ideas into an actual plan, I want to walk you through a quick but really powerful little exercise. This is all about giving you some clarity and a sense of direction as you get started.
I want you to really think about these 3 questions. First, what kind of friend would you actually like to have? And get really specific here. Second, flip it around. What kind of friend would you be for someone else? It's so important to remember the amazing qualities you bring to the table. And then the third question puts it all together. Where would a person like that, the friend you're looking for, and the person you are, where would they actually hang out?
And really, that's the question to leave you with. Your answers to those first 2 questions, that's your destination. And this final question, well, that's your map to get there. Because the social life you want and need, it doesn't just happen by magic. It takes some conscious, gentle effort to build it. And now you have the blueprint to start.